It's time for our doctor's prescription. Are you guilty of blowing your nose the wrong way? Right, has anyone ever actually taught you how to blow your nose?
Will you teach us?
Yes.
Next time you're feeling sick and have a stuffy nose, before you reach for that tissue, I want you to listen up. That stuffy feeling, inflamed blood vessels in your nose. Drew, as an ear, nose, and throat doctor, you know this. It's why you can blow your nose, you still sound real nasally. But the problem is, a lot of people blow their nose so forcefully, it just irritates that whole area, it irritates those vessels more, can increase swelling. And if you blow so hard, the snot, and I'll call it snot, it's really mucus, it can actually go retrograde back up into your sinuses. So that forceful nose blowing that you see everyone do, where they take the handkerchief and go, and when you do that, you're not necessarily blowing the right way.
Break a blood vessel in your eyes.
So close one side. Gently, lightly blow through the other. You're reducing the chance of irritation. Then switch it up. Do the other side. And I think saline nasal sprays, I love using those, particularly in the morning and at night, to loosen up that mucus.
And then
Wow.
blow away.
Wow, this is both a good
But one nostril at a time.
this is both a good health tip and like good etiquette. Like I feel like we're in etiquette school. Like so dainty, just
Well, you can hear some people blow their nose
So
from
hard.
a mile away.
That
Have you ever seen someone in your ear, nose, and throat days?
blow out
Where they-
their sinuses.
Yes.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Bleeding into the white of your eye.
Because they blew so hard.
Bloody nose. Yes.
Floss before brushing or brush before flossing? That is the question. Which comes first in your nightly routine? I'm hearing some contradictory answers. Let me acknowledge there is a correct answer to that question. A study published in the National Institutes of Health concluded that flossing before brushing was more effective with removing plaque. And it makes sense to me. This is the way I've done it. It just made sense. You floss, it sort of loosens the plaque and other gunk, and then you can more easily brush it away. I didn't realize until we were doing this segment that a lot of people floss after.
The other thing that they came as a recommendation was you should actually be using different types of floss depending on your teeth. So if your teeth are very close together, you should use thin floss. If they're a little bit more widely spaced, you should use the broader, flatter floss. And the biggest take-home message for me was that you're actually supposed to floss behind your back tooth, which I didn't know. That
Well,
was
because
kind of
you
really...
can get food particles caught between your tooth and gum. Stick to a good oral hygiene regimen. Do you wish your kids would eat more fruits and veggies? Yes. Well, today's doctor's prescription might help, and to make sure all the moms are paying attention, Chef Franco is going to deliver the tips.
I'm paying attention. Here you go.
Well, so I think in general, you know, when you have kids, it's fun to, you know, they don't understand antioxidants, but they understand, you know, for instance, smart berries. If you eat berries, you're gonna get smarter. So a good way to make them eat berries is say, you have smart berries and you're gonna get smarter. Same with carrots, for instance, you know, they don't understand like, you know, vitamin A for your eyes, but they definitely understand that they can be superheroes if they get bionic vision by eating carrots, right?
I love this.
Yeah, and the same with well, strong bones. We have here peas. And last but not least, we have superhuman running. So that basically makes you a superstar and a superhero by eating tomatoes.
With the potassium for your muscles, I love it.
Yes.
And every single fruit and veggie you have up here is colorful. And it's the rainbow. Let's take these
But
top,
this has
look at that
actually
rainbow.
been studied. They did a study at Cornell University where they found that if they gave cool names like this to the fruits and vegetables, that had a lingering impact on kids. They were much more likely to eat it. So if you said that this is your superhuman, superpowered bionic vision carrots, the next day they're more likely to eat it too.
Kids,
So,
eat your fruits and veggies, and you too can look like Franco.
seriously.
We talked about sleep, or maybe I should say our difficulty collectively getting to sleep, staying asleep. Insomnia, huge problem. I'm going to give you 4 tips to help you fall asleep naturally. And no matter what you do, try these. Have a consistent sleep schedule, if at all possible. 2, no caffeine after 2 p.m. 3, no booze 3 hours before bed. And don't overdrink also, because too much booze in your system, obviously not good for you, but it does interrupt your REM sleep, that deep sleep that replenishes our energy. And 4, You're going to, I think, like this because I'm limiting it 15 minutes of sunlight every morning. And that gets back to your circadian rhythm. So you're teaching your body slowly over time. When you wake up, it's daytime. And then as you go throughout your day, you're limiting your caffeine intake. If you have a glass of wine, for men maybe 2, don't drink right before bed. That is not good quality sleep. And give it some time. Dr. Bruce mentioned this earlier, and I think one of the keys for anyone who's experienced sleepless nights is we get frustrated, and then the frustration builds, and the anxiety increases because we were anxious about the day's events, then we're anxious about getting sleep, and oh my gosh, now I'm not sleeping, tomorrow's work's going to suck. And then the next day sucks, and oh my gosh, I need to get sleep tonight because tomorrow's gonna suck even more. So try this and give it some time and get into the pattern. And it's like a rhythm. It's like all things in life.
Try to get away from the techno, your computers, your phones.
Yeah, it's so smart.
I know some people like to fall asleep with the TV. I'm not sure if that's the best way to go. I mean, everybody's a little bit different, but try to tune out before then. I think you're more likely to de-stress, be in a good place to fall asleep more readily.
And I would say my only additional tip would be to try to exercise at some point during the day, because then, you know, the more tired you are, the more likely you are to sleep well. So I think exercise is a key part of that too.
But not right before bed.
No, not right before when your endorphins are running.
Get in your rhythm and figure out
earlier.
what works for you. We'll have more information on this on our website, thedoctorstv.com.